Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today we are looking at a rather different deck to the kind I will normally play, definitely in colours I would not normally play. It is a blue-white TemPoo deck. The reason it's TemPoo is that this kind of deck in general is poo to play against on the ladder. It's one of those decks where if you draw your creatures and you draw sufficient protection spells or buff spells against the right decks, then you will win. If you don't, then you won't. I've had reasonable success with it on the ladder. I think it's actually pretty decent at the moment. It's nice against control decks. It's nice against Boros in general, although if they get a flyer off of off of being on the play, then you're never going to catch up. But in general, it's working pretty well. And so the creatures that this deck is revolved around are Stormtracer Drake, Delver of Secrets, and Illuminator Virtuoso. So this will be no surprise. People will run into decks like this on the ladder, I imagine. But Delver, 1-drop, flips if we've got an instant or a sorcery drawn. Virtuoso is sort of our main win con in the deck. It's whenever it becomes a target of the spell it connives. It has double strike. So whenever we do any of these spells on our own Virtuoso, excluding this, it's going to grow, and because it has double strike, it grows quick. Security Bypass is a particularly nice combination of Virtuoso because not only does it target it when you put the aura on it, but obviously Virtuoso is going to damage twice each time it attacks as it has double strike. So you're going to get 3 connives on the first turn you play this. Stormtracer Drake is to draw us more cards with our targeted spells. So the targeted spells we have is basically the rest of the deck. So we have 3 Guiding Voices, 4 Homestead Courage, which is one of the more important ones as it has flashback. So it's basically 2 targeted spells in one. We've got 2 Wings of the Cosmos. This is like a protection against angels deck, I'd say, because it gives us a 1/3 and flying, and it untaps on it. So it's a nice combat trick against angels. It's also a protection spell. I mean, 3 toughness is no joke, and it only costs 1. 4 Slip out the back. So this is basically what enables this new deck in Streets of New Capenna. Being able to put a 1/1 counter on target creature and it phases out is actually incredible for this type of deck. The reason that this doesn't work before this card came about is things like Meathook Massacre. You can't, even with Hexproof, even with Indestructible, you can't protect your creatures from Meathook Massacre or Farewell, for example. But with Slip Out the Back, because it phases out, literally nothing can touch that creature. So the only way your creature dies after you've cast this on it is if they cast another spell on top. So there is a slight trick to being able to make sure that you're using this in situations where they're not going to be able to instantly kill your creature in response. But in general, this is like a guaranteed protection on your creature, as March of Swirling Mist always has been, because this phases out creatures. The nice thing about March is that although it costs a little bit more than Slip, it can target multiple creatures. So we can target, for example, both of these, which trigger on target of a spell with just 1 spell, so we can draw and connive off of 1 cast of this. We're running 2 You See a Guard approach, so it allows us to either tap a target creature, which helps get through the Virtuoso if there's a potential blocker for the win, or it can protect one of our creatures with Hexproof. 1 Sajiri Shelter as a protection from colour and a land. So protection from colour is similar to You See a Guard approach. It can get our creature through if they've only got 1 colour blocker, or it can save it from a burn or destroy spell. 1 Valorous Stance as a destroy for big creatures we're facing, particularly against mono green. This is helpful, but can also be used as a protection given our things indestructible. 2 Make Disappear, which is a nice counter. The reason this is a nice counter in this deck is it's basically a quench, so with 2 costing and a sort of mana leak for 2 effects, but it's got casualty 1. A lot of the time, or some of the time, we're running 12 creatures, we only really need 1 or 2 to finish the game. So if we've drawn multiple Delvers, we can put them on the board when we have sufficient spare mana to do so, and we can then, even if they haven't flipped, use them as a casualty for Make Disappear, which makes it basically a counter-target spell unless its controller pays 4 for only 2 mana, which is a very nice use of our sort of spare Delvers, or spare Virtuosos, or spare Drakes. As I've already explained, Security Bypasses to the Virtuoso, basically. I mean, you can cast it on Drake if we need to draw, but this is the key pairing there. And then we're running 1 Mavinda, which basically allows us to cast instants or sorceries from our graveyard as long as they target our own creatures. One last thing, we're running 2 Fading Hopes to basically try and buy us some time against other creature decks, thinking particularly here Boros, mono green and angels can be nice, and if we're playing against any tokens, obviously it's a destroy spell. So that is the deck. We're only running, I believe it's 21 core lands plus 1 shelter, so we're running 22 lands, but none of our cards apart from this one copy of Mavinda cost more than 2, so we're running a very cheap deck which allows us to play so few lands, and yeah, haven't really run into any land issues as a result so far. So that's the deck. We will have a go in some games and see how we get on. Okay, here we go. Let's get this done. Okay, on the draw, but not a bad hand. Basically, what I've been trying to work out recently is which colours can I play this on turn 2 and which do I need to wait till turn 3. This is definitely turn 3 till we can play it job, so I think we'll just do nothing. I think this opponent doesn't know whether we're this deck or whether we are blue-white control, so hopefully we can keep them guessing. So we will need another blue, won't we? Yeah. And now they know. Can they counter? They can, but they're going to then be able to shoot it, I suppose. Okay, we need to hope to find another one of our power creatures. This one, he's a little less good in this matchup. But if we can get him for 3 a turn, we'll be happy with that. Okay, guiding voice. This is probably a teachings. As we do want to draw into okay. I want to draw into another creature. Virtuoso or Drake. Even a Delver would be welcome at this point. Probably need to start keeping 2 mana open, because they're definitely going to have enough for 2 removal spells. What you thinking, DDD? We don't want that. Does mean our Homestead Courage misses, but not the end of the world. Gone through 2 of their Fading Hopes, and the guys to save during their turn, obviously. Yeah. Probably should have put the courage on this, but kind of want to keep 1 or 2 spells around for let's use this. One or two spells around for in case we actually draw our Drake or Virtuoso. Yeah, it's a 2-turn clock either way, so we don't need the courage really. I'm guessing that this... I was wondering if it was a bombardment deck, but because of the seismic wave. Not sure. Either way, just about sort of managed to tempo our way out with protection spells there. Let's go again. Alright, next one. Mozzarella. Yeah, half decent. Delver's obviously not our first choice of creature, but can get the job done. Depends how much removal they've got. We've only got 1 protection and 2 Delvers. It's not actually not great, but if you flip 2 Delvers and they don't have a meat hook or something, meat hook would wreck us here. Just don't want to be playing against black, please. Come on, mozzarella. Thinking long and hard. Are they just timing out? Anyone? Am I timing out? If in doubt, TemPoo disconnects emoji. How unreasonably long of amount of time does Arena give you to decide whether to mulligan from 7? I mean, they're probably doing it because the client is rubbish and you disconnect all the time, but still. Yeah, we can reveal that. That's 1 Delver flipped on turn 2. Nah, bro. Not about that life. I want to keep my flip Delver, please. Boros man. Okay. Double burn. I guess they could have more burn. We'll just attack and then pass. Wings of the Cosmos will handle any hasty dudes they've got that want to attack, or any burn they've got. And they can't have 2 burns. They don't have sufficient okay. Although that's their brute flip, I think we're past that. We don't, in case they've got another Cathar, I don't have a protection for it now, so better off at night time at the moment. Obviously they could double spell, but they've used a lot of their cheap stuff, right? This is looking like a double spell attempt. Maybe not. Maybe they're baiting this out because they've got to play with that. Okay. Crafty. I would like more creatures now, please. This is the problem with the double Delver start. There's no draw. So we don't draw into anything. It could be stuffed. Okay, I've got our Drake. We lost our Drake. This is something I basically can't play against because we need to spell multiple times. GG. Right. Just remove the Dream Shackle Geists and put in Make Disappear instead. I think it's I'm not sure when we're wanting a 3 costing creature in this deck, so it's probably a bit nicer. Not perfect, but we've got a creature, although straight into red is not ideal. Should have played it on turn 2 maybe. Oh, yeah. We don't want to play it this turn, do we? Okay, Kakazan's not the worst that could happen on turn 3 for them. See if they've got a third land yet. I guess we don't need to slip this turn. And just give it a hexproof. We'll ditch one of these. So we could Guiding Voice since we have Slip out the back, but we should have done it before we attacked them. So we'll hold for Make Disappear now. They've got to get a third land drop eventually. Here it is. Although they've not got any creatures coming in with it, that's interesting. Okay, there's the creature. Sadly, still no additional white, so I think we will just Homestead Courage this. Chuck the other Drake. So we have a counter and a Slip out the back. So we should be alive for this turn, hopefully. Yeah, that's okay. We're not planning on actually blocking that anyway. So we can gain 2 life of Sciences, but 2 life isn't enough. I can't kill, well, I mean I can exile one of his creatures, but it gets another one to attack with, so that doesn't help. So what we're probably going to have to do is Slip out the back one of his creatures and block the other. So I think we will just take... Can we kill him? 8. So this will give +2. That'd be 10. Then we'll have 3 mana left. No. Okay, so we will just take, I think this one. And then we want to give it like that. So now we can block, counter, and slip one creature. So this is, so that's okay. You counter that, and then we win. GG. 1 life left, but that's a Boros takedown. The Drake, infinitely better than the Delver. GG. Okay, just about got the start of this game. I missed it due to my computer freezing my webcam, unfortunately. But I only missed 1 turn, which was turn 1 Delver. Not a lot craziness going on there. So, managed to flip it turn 2. Let's get banging. No, thank you. Sadly, we missed the Homestead Courage. But at least our Delver is safe for a turn. Let's see what colours we're dealing with here. Blue, green. Now, we don't have a protection spell, but we can feign having one by keeping open the blue. So let's do this. Take our teachings. Yeah. I was thinking about playing the Delver to try and get the 3 cards rather than 2. Okay, it's a ramp deck, so hopefully we won't run into loads more interaction. Just got to finish them before they can protect themselves. So I'll probably play Teachings in the hope of finding a land. We have... I think we'll just stick another Delver down. Let's ditch the pretense now. They would have tried if they had something else. They don't want to take 5 damage a turn. If we win with just Delvers, it's a miracle. As I've said before, it's the kind of the worst creature in the deck. But still, when you end up with a 5/4 flyer, can't complain. Okay, so they're up to 6 lands. It's the 7 that then, which they could be on next turn, which could give them a Titan. They'd need to have a land and a Titan in their 3-card hand, so the odds aren't that high. That's nice. So that's 8, 9. Doesn't matter what we take. 10. GG. And that's how you destroy Simic Ramp before they get to 7. Next game. Okay, next game. This one might be rivaling the Rakdos deck for a fast ladder climber. It just takes a bit more thought, which is why I tend not to play this type of thing. But it's quite a good fun one. Okay, we've got our Virtuoso there. Can probably nah. What are we playing? Nah, we'll get rid of a Guiding Voice. Valorous Stance is a nice sort of get out of jail free card against the bigger creatures. I don't want to play blue because I don't want this to stick and let them know we've got it. Well, they would know we've got that, or Fading Hope. If they play a creature, I mean. Esper, okay. We won't play the Virtuoso into that. That's asking for it to be Vanishing Burst. Do need to draw a land to be able to play our creature. Not a land. They're almost 100%, almost 100%, like 90% have a removal that could kill this, so putting it down is a completely fruitless exercise, as tempting as it is. There's no way an Esper player isn't able to remove a 1/1 mono-coloured creature. Come on, slow player. Can't even stance this Rafine because of the ward. Throwing away a Luminarch Aspirant. Just holding on to 3,000 removal cards and sitting behind his Rafine. Legion Angel. Come on. Fuck's sake. We lose if we don't do something, so since we haven't drawn the land, we'll have to just hope. Jenga player. All you gotta do is remove this and I'll concede. Oh my goodness. I'll concede anyway. I cannot wait for this player. GG. We'll try again with actual lands. Alright, next one. I've had a little break. Feel a little bit more refreshed. Hopefully I can be a bit more positive about this now. Kenrith. I remember Kenrith. Normally in Fires decks or Winota decks. Dog's just patrolling the outside. Aren't you? Not sure about this card in the deck, and I've managed to get both of them. I'm definitely not sure about having two of them, but I think it is the best spell land for us. Again, we've only got a Delver. I don't know where all of our Drakes and Virtuosos are hiding. We've really not started with very many in our opening hands, have we? Can't play really any more than 12 creatures with Delver, so... Again, how long do they need? Right here. Okay. Concentrate. Still playing with the dog. Okay, Boros. Boros or mono red. They can deal with the Delver if they want. We don't care that much, but they won't then get their token. The counter, I mean. See, I think sensible players would give up the counter, kill the Delver, and know they're onto a winner. But this kind of deck, the Delvers are dangerous. Or the creatures in general. Got to take them out when you got the chance. Otherwise we'll be getting this white down. Could be a 4/3 flyer coming in next turn. No, they're not. They'd rather hit with their own 3/3. A little bit loud. That is not what we want. Yeah. Do we even do that? Because we want to use it on the Virtuoso, really. I think we just attack and then we'll shelter. In fact, I should have not attacked and sheltered and saved myself a load of damage. Would have been the best thing to do. Could have saved 3 there, would be very important. Okay, well at least we've managed to get one over on the Cathar. Still no good good answer there. I think we courage. Do we? Nah. We don't do anything. We just see a guard approach on this. Okay, so we're going to have to block like this. Oh shit, clicked the wrong creature. No! Okay, I don't think we were going to win that anyway, but that was a bit of a blunder. Alright. Rad Girl Dad. Or Gruel Dad. This is not a keep. We need a creature. Basically, the mulliganing is relatively easy with this deck so far. You basically will mulligan if you don't have a creature for sure. I will sometimes mulligan if I don't have a good creature. 3 creatures. We don't need 3. Okay. That is my whole hand. He's allowed to discard. Probably one of the creatures. I don't want to choose Homestead Courage. I don't know why. Almost could be safer not in our hand, but let's assume they don't have 2 Dread Fugues. Okay. Missing a land drop is not that pleasant, but at least we got the slit to save the second one. That's why I played the first one out at all. Looks like they're playing sorcery speed removal as well, largely, so we can block one of the harvesters. Although if they sack it, that's even better. We have a make disappear. There we go. But I don't have any way of protecting from the harvester, which is what I was after. So we got the shelter now. If they try and kill off the Drake, we have to let that resolve, otherwise they can use the harvester on the Drake, which means we lose the courage. A little bit sad because I could have discarded the land last turn. Yeah, they're taking a creature. Suits me. Although we need to use that courage up now before we can't anymore. And then maybe the reducer or this. 2 life could be helpful. And then I suppose we can ditch that. Good thing to throw away. We're getting close to being able to kill them next turn. This feels like a trap, but I think we have to block the trespasser. We'll use this one, so we can use another one if we have to. I don't know what else they've got. They could have a Blood Chief's Thirst or something like that. Could counter that. I think we will. We've got another counter anyway, so save some damage. Not going to kill them this turn, so we'll have to give it another turn. Just ditch the land. Hold everything open. We've got 2 counters, a whole bunch of protection. GG. Yep, having the Drake gets us the win. And we will try again. Okay, next one. Kaichi. We don't have a creature, so it's a mulligan. That's a nice hand. Probably ditch this. Or a land, actually. Probably ditch a land. Yeah, we want to play an untapped blue on turn 1 for Delver, so won't draw any land now, but c'est la vie. Probably another Rakdos deck, is it? Jund. Okay, got 3 Virtuosos now. Means we can afford to just jam one down. Hopefully they'll use some removal on it and don't do anything else. Okay. Flip the Delver. Probably just want to attack. Getting in for 5. It'd be nice to put the bypass on, but it could just be a completely wasted turn if we do that. Okay, not sure what their deck was doing, but clearly not enough. Try again. Okay, Tegan. Let's see what we can do. On the draw again. Got a couple of creatures though, so it's a good one. Not our favourite protection spell, but situationally it works. So we're against potentially mono white, potentially Boros. Boros it is. That's a slightly annoying card for us to play against, but make them deal with the Drake, which would be, oh, it's not Boros. Interesting. It's Naya Humans. So what do you take if you're them? Either the Guiding Voice or the Virtuoso, I suspect. Guiding Voice for 4. Quite funny. Okay, I've got another one. I suspect it's the right play. We won't be able to attack, and we'll be taking 8 next turn. But then playing a Virtuoso, we're not doing anything else. Yeah, I think we do that. Probably go for the 2 life. I suppose we could block the Spellbinder. It probably depends what else they do. If they've got like a Halana and a Lena. No? Don't know. Maybe the right play is to block, but they could even have Wandering Emperor there. Which would be a complete blowout if we blocked. It'd be a concede. That is a bit vicious. Probably just want to put the creatures in. And then block, basically. That's our plan. More important to be alive than to have creatures. So we're going to take 5, we can get up to 6 using this, so we're still alive then. I'm not sure for how long. Good game. Okay, that was a tough one. I don't think that's a very good matchup for us, unless we go first. Maybe I need some Fading Hopes or something in there. Might see if we can squeeze some in. So I'm just taking a quick look now to see if I can squeeze in a couple of Fading Hopes. The only thing I can think is one fewer of these, one fewer of these. And then, what I don't know if we want is try and get one Mavinda in here. Not really a lot I want to take out. Potentially one of those. Don't know if it's worth it though. Let's try this version. Okay, next one. Joe the Ho. Nice name. Can we be on the play? No, we cannot. Okay. It's quite a nice hand. Just jam the Delver and watch him get blown up. Oh, no. Not even by the dens. Reveal that. That's a nice early flip. I think we'll just start attacking. I mean, they haven't killed the Delver, so I guess we can put this in. We're going to keep one of them, I hope. Move myself back, sorry about that. Could be up here. That's better. We'll put this in. And then probably Homestead Courage on the Illuminator. Don't need any more creatures when we've got the protection for these ones. So we're swinging for 9. Yep. This is one of those absolutely flying starts with a flip Delver into a Virtuoso with them not having removal for them. So if we use this on here, then it's going to be 8, 11.
Listen, pal, I'm with the Gatewatch, so you might as well give up already.
Okay.
Aw, you're looking a little singed.
Thing is, they can see we have the UC a guard approach. And GG. We will have another go. Alright, next game. Finally run the play. That's nice. Do we use the shelter? No. Because then we won't be able to play Drake on turn 2. A mistake. Okay, I'm going to play the Drake because we're against blue and we've got another one. Against Temur. They are touching my Drake, so I think he might not be long for this world. Okay, just back to the hand. That's acceptable. Go again, Drake. If I knew a single lyric of a single Drake song, I would sing it now, but I do not. So we will Courage on this Drake. I'll probably then throw away this. Oh, we don't have to throw it away, of course. One more white land. We've only got one more blue, which we'll save to keep it alive, so could have Couraged actually. Double Courage since we found another white land. It's a mistake. 1 damage lost. Potentially more than 1 if we need all of our mana. Opponent having an incredibly active game so far. We'll start by Couraging our Drake. We would like a blue land, please. It's not the bluest land I've ever seen. But there's no way I can be using my blue mana up when they are being so mysterious. No, we're just going to let them do that. Memory Deluge itself isn't actually doing anything. I think the correct move is to let them have it. Because the odds are they're going to try and Goldspan Dragon or something along those lines, right? seems like quite a linear player, someone who's just playing their own cards and not really looking at what I'm doing. So I'm hoping they're just going to try and jam a 5-drop here. Okay. 2 damage to my Drake is fine. That is also fine. I wonder if they really mean oops. Or they're holding another voltage surge, trying to get me to counter that iteration or something weird. Don't know what they're doing, what they're playing at here. Okay, they're not doing anything. They actually do mean oops. Don't have any white cards to play, so that's the end of that turn. I'm really curious to see where this ends up. We've had quite a bad draw, but I'm starting to think that maybe blue land is more important. Or maybe I should be running the full set of these. The problem is I just don't want to end up with tap lands in my hand at the start. I should say only tap lands at the start. Yeah, that's what we want to get rid of. Don't want any gold span dragons, but I'm cute. Well, at least we're representing lethal next turn. And we have a creature to sack for make disappear in case we really need to counter something. I think we probably march both our creatures here. But not for 3, so for 2. We don't need to exile anything, do we? No. Just like that. At least one of them should live. And we can bypass whatever lives. Okay. So they're not phased out, but that's actually not the end of the world. I'll throw that away. Can this Virtuoso please live? I have a feeling that they can't have loads of removal in their hand. Okay. Nice when you feel like you've out-controlled the control decks. GG. Alright. One more for the road. Make it a fun one, easy eye. Okay, we've got one creature. And some semi-protection spells. Okay, Spikefield Cave into blue, more Izzet. Okay. Then we're definitely not running the Virtuoso out now. We want at least this to protect it. So if I could play the Delver first. I am tempted to blue and Delver instead of Virtuoso here. And keep the counter open. So we could save the Delver. Or we can let the Delver die and counter whatever they play next turn. But then 4 drops. Nah, we'll save it. I think 4 drops aren't the end of world, and is it a thing? Okay, managed to get a couple of spells out there, so that was not too bad. Let's see what horrendous 4-drop I regret. That would have been nice to counter in fairness. But okay, we'll get the Virtuoso and hold counter. In case it's a arcane bombardment or something. Yeah, iteration's fine. I mean, obviously we don't want them iterating, but no point trying to stop that spell. see, we can make them use their 2 treasures. Worth doing. Sadly can't keep the creature alive. It's going from an easy win against Izzet to an easy loss. Spell pairs has so far been the difference, I think. Okay. So as long as they don't counter it, we can draw at least 1 with this. If they kill my Drake, I'll be sad, but at least I drew 1. Sad. I drew another creature. I mean, they can have endless removal, so I'm not getting my hopes up. But I can't hold it until I draw a protection spell. Definitely getting gone over the top up here. Okay, we have a protection spell now. Don't actually mind if they put it back in my hand. I've got the connive trigger already. Now it's tricky. I want both of these. At this point, the Drake draws me, but the Virtuoso can actually end the game, which I don't think the Drake can. God, is that the 3rd expressive iteration? No, 1, 2, yeah, only 2nd. But then 2 Prismari commands, so yeah. It's not looking that pretty. The only chance is to win next turn, which looks extremely unlikely, getting this to 10 power. I'd say nigh on impossible. We wanted to use that anyway, so give us something to dodge, I suppose. If they've got another one, we're definitely dead. Yeah, all that'll do. GG. Okay, so the question on everybody's lips, how are the stats looking? So I've actually played 21 games of this deck now, with a 57% win rate. It's slightly better in my latest version, which I just crafted, but that's just because it's over a small number of games, I think. I would say it is probably about between 55 and 60% win rate deck. It's definitely win positive. I'm definitely not the best pilot of this deck, is the main thing I will say. It takes a lot of practice to get good at a deck like this, and it is a good fun one to play. But as you can see, since the ladder reset, it has been climbing me up through Platinum, which in the first 5 days of the month is basically playing against Mythic players. So, it's winning consistently. It's quite hard work, it takes a lot of brain power, but if you enjoy quite quick games but also have to think a little bit, it's a good fun deck. So, give it a go. Let me know what feedback you have, if any. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe for more content.